So Scoob has finally been released on video on demand, and I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan, so what did I think about it? Well, I'll let you know in this review, roll the intro. So yes, I am a huge Scooby-Doo fan, absolutely huge. I've watched so much Scooby-Doo ever since I was a kid, absolutely loved it. So I was super excited about this movie, but there's one thing that you gotta understand about this movie before going in. And one thing that I don't think critics understand, because this movie at the moment is getting very 50-50 reviews by critics. It's a bit all over the place. Audience is pretty good. The audience seems to love it. You know, critics are a little 50-50, which, I mean, when doesn't that happen? But you gotta understand one thing before going in, is that this isn't a Scooby-Doo movie. This is a Hanna-Barbera universe movie. They're trying to start up a whole new universe with and do a bunch of other movies that are all connected into one. And that's what you gotta understand about it. That is one of the big problems of this movie for a lot of people, is that it's not quite Scooby-Doo. There's no huge mystery or anything like that. It's just the Scooby-Doo characters interacting with other Hanna-Barbera characters and, you know, that kind of thing. It's not a new concept, especially for Scooby-Doo. You know, he's dealt with the Blue Falcon before. He's been with Batman and all that kind of stuff, you know. He's been around. But there's no real mystery side of things in this movie. It's already revealed that Dick Dastardly is the villain. Da-da, there's your villain, that's the mystery. There's none of that in it. But, saying that, this is a great movie. I absolutely had so much fun watching this movie. It is a blast to watch. Straight away it opens up with Scooby and Shaggy when they're little and all that. We see that in the trailers. They do obviously extend it, there's a lot more to it, and it's really cute and just really wholesome. It's really wholesome. This whole movie is just wholesome. We even get a rendition of the original theme song, and then the characters when they're little kids doing the exact the opening of the original show. They are doing the original opening with the music and all that, and it's great to see. It was really great, and just nostalgia. Well, not really nostalgia when I watch it all the time, but it was really cool to see, especially with this animation. This animation's really beautiful. It works really well. And it just looks really, really good. You know, it's very, very animated. You know, it makes the characters really stand out. But then, they could do a lot with it. But at the same time, it doesn't lose its cartooniness. That's something I loved about this movie. They still have all the stupid Looney Tunes sound effects. You know, all these classic cartoon sound effects and moments Dick Dastardly falling down forever and ever and ever and bloop, you know, like a Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote kind of thing. They do that kind of stuff. They do all these little references to cartoons and such, and it's really fun. It's great. I absolutely love those kind of moments. I love that it has all that kind of stuff. I only really have one flaw with this movie. Only really one flaw. And that's that. It just goes. It's just going and going and going, which I guess is for the kids, you know. It is so they could you know, just keep watching and all that. There's always something happening, and that is a little bit of a problem. There's no real room to breathe sometimes, and you need that in a film. I've noticed that you do need those kind of moments. So it's one flaw. Besides that, I don't really think there's really any flaws with this movie. The voice acting was good, even though, yeah, sure, a lot of people aren't really happy with a lot of the choices. For me, I'm not happy that Zac Efron is Fred. Fred has always been voiced by Frank Welker since the 60s. So to see him finally be voiced by someone else is really, really weird to me. It's really weird, But he did a really good job. He did. And all the characters, you know, they generally sound pretty good. They're perfectly fine. Even Shaggy, okay, that's like the one that got like the most attention. With Shaggy, sure, he's not the best Shaggy. He's probably the worst Shaggy. But at the same time, it works perfectly fine in this. It works fine for the animation and everything. His voice is perfectly fine, honestly. Like, it works. And that's saying that as like a Scooby and Shaggy fan. I absolutely freaking love Shaggy. But, like, I don't have a problem with the voice like a lot of other people do. Yeah, sure, in the trailers, I'm gonna be like, you know, I was skeptical. I was, but I think he did a fine job. Honestly, you know, I think he did a fine job, and so did everyone else. Mark Wahlberg as Blue Falcon. I didn't really expect to like Blue Falcon, but I really liked him. I really like the story there, and who he actually is, kind of thing. I won't ruin it. Like, I'm trying not to say any spoilers. Like I said, I just watched this. I haven't gotten a script or anything. I'm just saying it, which I'm not great at these reviews, but I'm trying. Yeah, I ended up really liking his character. I really like Dynamite. He's great. He was like a lot of fun with all his gadgets and everything. When he just like pulls out a bunch of rocket launchers, like, oh shit, that dog packing. And that was great. The initial story, right? Okay, so the initial story is, yeah, Dick Dastardly's the villain, and he's after something. He's after something. But they do like a little swap kind of thing. Sort of. Like, you can kind of see it coming, but it's how they do it I really loved, honestly. Like, with Dick Dastardly, like, I really liked him as a villain in this movie. Like, he had all his little gadgets and all that kind of stuff. He he was very cartoony and all that. I really I liked him in this. And what he does and what his end goal is, I liked that. And then, but then, like, for the most part, most of this movie is Scooby and Shaggy, not so much the other three, Fred, Velma, and Daphne. They do get their own scenes as well. Like, a lot of people are just like, there's not enough of them, blah, 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 blah. But let's be real here. Scooby-Doo was never really about them. It was all about Scooby-Doo. And then, you know, Shaggy is just along for the ride. But it's always Scooby and Shaggy. You know, it's always them. So, yeah, we get plenty of them. We do. A lot of, like, some reviews I see are saying, no, there's not enough of them. There is. And it's just like, it's all just like superhero. It's just another superhero movie. It's not. It's really not. There's so much more to it. Like, yeah, in a way, sure. Yeah, sure. But there's more to it than that. Because the Blue Falcon, like, he doesn't do much. Like, again, I don't want to spoil it, but he just doesn't really do that much. You know, it's more of the dogs doing thing, Dynamite and Scooby and such. And yeah, and that's like also like one of the things about this movie is that it's all about dogs and what dogs can do. You know, just how dogs make you feel. And I really like that because all the villains have dogs, right? Like, all the characters have dogs. Scooby, Shaggy, Blue Falcon, and Dynamite, Dick Dastardly, and Muttley. They all have dogs, and that was on purpose. And I really like that. I like what they did here. Yeah, sure. It's not like the most grandest kind of story or anything. It's very, like, I've seen it before in other Scooby-Doo things, so it's not like the greatest kind of story. And then, like, stuff they do with Shaggy and Scooby, they've done before. You know, they've done all of this before. Sure. But it's well animated, well voiced. Like, it's still good. Like, you can't just rule it out because it's been done before. Look at it for what it is. And for what it is, it's good. Again, my only problem is that it does kind of wash through things. It does just go from one scene to the next, and it kind of just keeps on going and going. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing. It can be maybe just a little bit too much, sure. But we still get plenty of scenes of Scooby and Shaggy, and I love the comedy in this as well. I didn't think like the comedy would be as good as it was, but it is. There's a couple of adult sort of jokes in there, and they're funny. And goddamn, one of these celebrity appearances that was so unexpected, but it works. It oddly works because of why he's there. I think it really works, and it made me laugh. There was a good couple of jokes in this movie, and I was tearing up at the end as well of the movie. Like, it does make you tear up at the end, and yeah, like, I like it. My only problem is this whole Hanna-Barbera universe isn't exactly set up, kinda. They do kinda just make it out that, like, sure, anything in this world is possible. Like, with Captain Caveman being in it, and then, like, how he's in it? It's like, oh, okay, I guess that exists, kind of thing. But, like, there's no, like, end credit scene, the ending doesn't really set up anything, so I do have to wonder what's next, because I've heard like they want to do like the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and I guess, you know, that was like an old thing. It's just Flintstones, Jetsons, so how will that work exactly? Like, especially if it's got to fit into the same timeline, if it's going to fit into this world, how does that work exactly? Or will they just be like a separate movie kind of thing that's not connected to like Scooby-Doo, but then will be part of its own kind of universe, which will have a bunch of different characters in it or something? I don't know. My best thought is that the Jetsons will have like some kind of time machine, I don't know, in the future, and then like we'll meet the Flintstones, blah blah blah, and we'll just crisscross or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I'm sure they got a plan, but they didn't really set up too much. There's a couple of extra characters, and there's like a couple little things at the end where it's like, oh, there's this dude and this dude and that dude and that dude, and then they went off and visited this guy and this guy, and so there's like during like the end sort of credits and all that. It's not like it's just like little images where it's like, oh yeah, that dude and that dude. Oh okay, you know, they do kind of just add in all these different characters at the end, sort of thing. They don't explain where they come from or whatnot, but they're there. I like this movie. I liked it. It's a good Scooby-Doo movie. It has all the Scooby-Doo charm. That's just it. It has so much charm into it. It has... there's so much to love here. If you love Scooby-Doo, if you love cartoons, you'll love it. It feels like an old cartoon. Well, yeah, cartoons will generally just go and go to keep the audience entertained, to keep kids entertained. And that's what it feels like. It feels like an old cartoon. And because, yeah, they do these little silly jokes and things that make it feel like an old cartoon. And then, yeah, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of, like, even, like, adult kind of jokes in there. Like, one about Tinder. And that was funny. And it does just go by that, like, a kid wouldn't really understand or something, you know, but, like, they would still understand a little bit of a joke, but not what it really is. And so there's stuff like that in there that is funny. It's for, like, this movie is for everyone. It's for old fans and for new ones. It's for, like, you know, like kids, and it's for kids and adults. So yeah, I think I'll have to give this movie an 8 out of 10 foxes. Sure, it's not perfect. It's not like a big blockbuster movie kind of thing, and as I said, it doesn't just go bam 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 bam, but it is still a very good watch, and I hope you guys do watch it. It can be maybe a little tricky to track down in Australia, but if you manage to get a hold of it, please do watch this. I want people to watch this movie. I want people to help support them, for one, because like with this VOD thing, I have no idea how much money they'll make off it exactly. I don't know. But I want them to make money so they continue this Hanna-Barbera universe. And for me, I just want to see Scoob. Or at least I want to see Scooby and Shaggy in these different movies and in these different kind of moments and things, you know, like, I don't really care. Like, okay, I don't care about them putting, like, making a movie that's just like a mystery kind of thing. I don't care. I just want to see Shaggy and Scooby. Simple as that. I just want to see them in these different scenarios. That's the word I was looking for earlier. I just like seeing people, like characters I love, put into different scenarios. And that's all I want to see. I don't care that this isn't like a big mystery movie. Would have been, like, make it a better movie? No. Because then it would have just been the same thing we've already seen over and over again. And generally when it comes to this kind of, like, when Scooby-Doo does mysteries, it's all extremely obvious who the mystery person is. Anyway, so it just would be kind of pointless. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Sorry, it's not scripted, so it's not the best. I do what I can. Hope you still enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to our channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now. Ow, ow.